Live from the MultiGP headquarters, this is MultiGP News.
Today on MultiGP News, they're setting some fast times on the 2018 Swatch DRL Tryouts. Now hear what strategies these pilots are using to climb to the top. Plus, AMA's Executive Vice President Randy Cameron answers some of your questions posted on social media. Why he says drone racing plays a big role in the AMA's future. Also, we'll hear about some extreme Tiny WHUTT racing at the Brewers Cup and the MultiGP WHUTT in Nevada. It's a race you don't want to miss. All this and much more coming up on MultiGP News. Welcome back, everyone. Here are your top stories this week on the MultiGP Rundown. It's the sweet smell of victory that's putting a smile on his face. MultiGP News sat down with AMA's newly elected Executive Vice President Randy Cameron, who recently took the elections by storm with a stunning 9,807 votes for the win. Let's take a look. Meet the new Vice President for the Academy of Model Aeronautics. Randy Cameron, who has been with the Academy for over a decade, has a lot planned for the future of the AMA.
I'm super excited about it. Like I say, I think that we'll be able to make some changes and, grow both organizations, not only the AMA, but I'm hoping MultiGP and the other special interest groups as well.
How does FPV play a role in the next 3 years?
One of the things I'm kind of excited about is the competition side of it, because AMA over the last 10 years, competition, and we have our NATs every year, and the number of people has been declining, that are actually flying competitively, and so I think this is bringing a lot of competitiveness back to the hobby. So that's one area that I really think is good.
Cameron also answering some questions posted by MultiGP pilots on social media.
Thoughts and opinions regarding FPV flight. Like I say, it's a great way to fly. It's patience a lot more, and I think it'll fit right in. And his next question was, do you see drones as separate or within model aviation? And
yeah.
I absolutely see that it within model aviation, that it's real similar to what we do, and most of the guys that are racing, they're really hobbyists at the start. There's a few that have made some money doing it, but for the most part, it's hobbyists that are out there playing, and a lot of the same things. They build their quad, they tweak on it, they go out and test it, and if it isn't what they want, they tweak it some more, and it's a lot of the same things we do, and so it's absolutely part of model aviation as far as I'm concerned. Thoughts on long range FPV. The FAA and our rules say it has to be within line of sight. And the main reason for that is if you have an emergency helicopter from the hospital that I work at come flying over, and they come over our field quite often, and you don't see them because your plane's out a long ways away and you collide with them and kill somebody, I mean, we all know that's not a good thing. And to protect human life, and I think it's necessary at the moment. However, there's a lot of technology going on right now. People developing ways to seek and avoid, and let the full-scale pilots know if there's an aircraft in the way, or an unmanned aircraft. I think that's going to be developed and out probably within the next year at fairly reasonable cost. I've seen some demos with it. And, if that can happen, if it's lightweight and inexpensive, I think it's a no-brainer. Then we can change things.
This is a 3-year term for Randy Cameron, but he hopes to run again once his term is over. MultiGP is looking forward to working with Cameron in the future to strengthen the relationship between the AMA and MultiGP. It's time to whoop it up. The Nevada WHUTT Association kicking off the Brewers Cup and the MultiGP WHUTT inside one of the Stead Airport hangars in Reno, Nevada. Check it out.
I'm Gino Calistini, and my pilot name is Ghetto Finger, and I'm from Reno, Nevada. Here's us right here. Right here, Nevada Whoop Association. We're one of the first flagship MultiGP chapters for Tiny WHUTT. So we've got it kind of rocking out here. We do all kinds of races. Every single week we have community workshops, and we hold races and all kinds of great stuff. Yeah, so we have our Brewers Cup here. It's a 4-race series. Right now we're on our second race of the 4-race series right now, and it's a 2-week event. Every 2 weeks we have it, and right now, like I said, we're here at this awesome brewery here in Reno, Nevada, the Brewer Imbit Brewery here, located on 2nd Street. So it's pretty cool. We get a good turnout, about 20 guys, sometimes a little bit more, 15, just depends, you know, but we have a good time doing it. We have a lot of good pilots here. We're going to have a race in December, and that's going to be our UTT, which is going to be inside of the hangar here at the Stead Airport in Reno, Nevada. We're going to have a full access, full planes. We're going to set up the UTT track from Tiny WHUTT from Jesse Perkins. We're going to run it live and stuff, so it should be really awesome. That's going to be a really good event. Sure can. You can head over to nwareno.com, www.nwareno.com. You can find all our event stuff and what's happening there as well.
If you have a story you'd like to share on an upcoming episode, email us at news@multigp.com. And when we come back, we'll hear from a few pilots dominating the leaderboard in the 2018 Swatch DRL Tryouts. Plus, a special Crash of the Week from Cody Code Red Matson. Stick around. The 2018 Swatch DRL Tryouts are heating up. We caught up with a few pilots who are putting in some serious stick time and setting some fast times on the leaderboard. Check it out. You've seen their names on the 2018 Swatch DRL Tryouts leaderboard. Pilots like RoboGenesis, Pew Pew, Cruel, BKFPV, and many more.
Well, ever since last year, I always kind of followed the tryouts, and last year I wound up qualifying 3rd. So this year I've been working with them again, because last year I worked with them on the physics, and this year I'm working a little bit better or more in depth with DRL on the physics of the game. So I knew exactly when the tryouts came out, when it was live, so I jumped on there and set a time. But I knew it wasn't going to take long for people to topple it. But it was just, I was able to get on there real quick and put a time down. I mean, the tryouts this year, it's all 5 levels from the regular DRL season. So you're going to do Miami, Atlanta, New Orleans, Mardi Gras, and Boston, and then Munich. And the way that the tryouts work is that you have to run all 5 courses consecutively without restarting the course or restarting the race, right? So you cannot make a really big mistake while you're doing it. And then what they do is that they take each time from each course that you do. So if you do 30 seconds in Miami, 30 seconds in all of them, that's your aggregate time. So your time would be, 2 minutes and 30 seconds for all 5 courses, and that would be what ranks you. So the times that you see on the ranking is based off the aggregate time that everybody used to run each track all together. Not many as compared to some other people. I mean, we've heard of guys that have put in 1,000 attempts or more. I think I have like 50 attempts total, so that might be like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours worth of attempts.
So it's tough because it's something that you can keep retrying. So you have to do 5 tracks back to back. If you mess up on the first one, for me, there's no point in going on. So literally, I keep going through each track until I get them perfectly. I could get to halfway through the 5th track with all perfect times or close enough to perfect times, and I'll restart it because I crash or whatever. So it's interesting. You can do that. I think I've done that first track probably 1,200 times, and the last track I've probably done 300 times just because I've restarted by the time I've gotten to the last track.
Let's get to the juicy part of the interviews. How are these pilots exactly holding their positions in the top 8?
So I try to practice every day, and also the main thing is I watch other people fly. That's one of the best things from DRL sim is you could see the playbacks from other pilots. So of course, I didn't start off from being second on the leaderboard. I started off from maybe the top 30s and then ranked up higher every day. So yeah, what I did, I tried to study the techniques of other pilots, look at their lines, look at how they take the course, and I try to do the same, and that's how I've been progressing every time.
So my biggest trick, I guess my biggest secrets, I've really just put a lot of time into it. I mean, I think I played over 12 hours on a Saturday, maybe even longer. It got to the point where I had holes in my thumbs, so I had to use super glue. But I super glued my thumb up, and it worked pretty good. So super glue, that's a good tip. But I think it's really just flying within your limits and figuring out where your limits fail and trying to push them so that way it's better.
DRL is also doing live streams every week, so that's one of the things I like is I can hop on the multiplayer and play with the DRL pilots. So, and one of the thing is Kanoodle, he does like a commentary as well, so whenever we're playing, like I can hear him say, oh, Pew is first, and then Jaws is second, you know, that gives a more realistic feel to the live tryout, so that's one of the things I like about it.
Young pilots like Evan Heads Up FPV Turner and Andy Dolma also showing their presence on the leaderboard. Make sure to catch next week's update on the latest standings in the 2018 Swatch DRL Tryouts. Get on Steam, download the DRL Swatch Tryouts simulator, then fly, crash, and get fast. Here are the details. MultiGP is paying for the fastest MultiGP pilot in this year's DRL Swatch Simulator Tryouts to receive an all-expense-paid trip to New York City. That soon-to-be famous MultiGP pilot will participate in the Drone Racing League esports tournament next February. The fastest pilot in the Swatch DRL Tryouts receives a $75,000 contract to fly in the 2018 DRL season. Just click the link on your screen and race now. We will meet you in New York City. Now it's time for our Crash of the Week. We want to thank pilot Cody Code Red Matson for this week's crash. Let's take a look. Watch the entire video on Cody's fan page. Just search Cody Code Red Matson on Facebook. Now, if you would like your crash featured on an upcoming episode, email your videos to news@multigp.com. That's all the time we have for this episode of MultiGP News. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Thanks for watching. I'm Kalara Manade reporting for MultiGP News. See you next week. If you like this video, press the like button below, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in being showcased in the next episode of MultiGP News, please contact us at news@multigp.com.